Welcome to our first math video. We're going to go over some of the basics of the website as an introduction to distance learning. Our website is mathoer.net. I will write it big so you can read it. OER stands for Open Educational Resources, but you don't need to know that. So go to mathoer.net, open your favorite web browser on your phone or tablet or computer, and there we are. There's lots of things. Let's talk about some of them. This top corner button brings you back to this main page. If you go to some other page, this brings you back home. The Zoom Room button, if I click on it, opens the Zoom meeting room. When we have class time and get to all actually chat with each other, this will be where you go. The textbook link opens our textbook. It's an ebook and it's free. Hooray! Let's go back here. The distance learning tips has all sorts of good advice about how to do distance learning. Something that's not terribly important, but I want to share first, is using ShareX. This gives you a free tool on your computer that lets you quickly take pictures of parts of your screen. That will come into handy in just a moment. So I recommend installing ShareX. It is free. If you have some other thing that works well for you, great. So I'm taking some notes. There's a class that's happening. I'm looking at the textbook. I'm watching some other video or something online. Let's actually learn something. Our first topic is rounding in the shape-shifting section. Notice when we start a topic, it tells you where to go in the textbooks, the free online one or the Math 10 one from Bittinger with the green cover. You can see where to go. We also have more books that are free on the website. If you want to see those links, you can play there. So something's happening, and let's imagine that there's lecture, but skip to an interesting problem. Let's look at 10D. Remember I mentioned ShareX? Watch this. So that's copied. I, as the teacher, will be lecturing and want to put that in. Just one moment. There we go. Okay. So we want to round 25.79013, and the interesting one is to the nearest thousandth. Because if I look at tenths, hundredths, thousandths, then it asks me to round. Normally, there's no difference at all between this number and this number. They mean exactly the same thing, because after all, you can write zeros at the end of a decimal and it doesn't change anything. In this one case, it asked us to write an answer with thousandth of a decimal place. So this one is good, and that one is not good. It asked us to do thousandth, so we should do thousandth. That's a terrible box. Okay, good enough. Let's say I was taking notes about that. You can do the same special gizmos I just did. Remember how at the beginning of the main page there was a link to make a Google document. So you could go to your Drive, make a new doc, and when you're reading the book or listening to lecture, have this out. Then when the instructor does something interesting on the board, say, wait, just a moment, I liked that. And ta-da, you have captured for your notes. That might be something that you liked especially, and you didn't want to have to hunt for it in the video of the lecture afterwards. Now it is yours. Similarly, you could have been going back to that lecture part and said, I wonder what the textbook says. Page 295. I should also point out the table of contents is here if you ever want that. So in this textbook, I'm reading along about place value. Maybe I'm someone that does this before lecture. Maybe I'm someone that does this after lecture. And I really like what's happening here. I think that's pretty cool. So I can grab that too. Different than taking note-taking in a classroom. Thank you, Peter. I tried doing this last night, and it was disgustingly bad. I am not good at making short, informative videos, like you might look up on YouTube of how to do different types of small home plumbing projects. I'm used to leading a discussion. I really need something with eyeballs to look at while I'm talking, and you helped. All for now.